children, how are you all? Hope you have understood the previous session, that is the introduction of the biodiversity. So today we'll also continue that session. So today our topic is diverse world of life under microscope. So the question is whether the microorganisms which we see under the microscope also show the diversity, or are they same? So we have done a lot of experiments in the third unit. We try to see the pond water under the microscope. We try to see the bacteria under the microscope. We try to see the buttermilk under the microscope. Okay, so several things we have seen in the microscope, and we observed several microorganisms under the microscope. So all these microorganisms, they are completely different from each other, even though they are unicellular, even though they only depend on one particular cell, but still the functions are different. The way they capture the food is different. The way they swim in the water is different. The way they are stick to one particular place is different. So they show different characteristics. So amoeba, if you take, it doesn't have a shape at all. If you take paramecium, it has a slipper shape. Okay, so like this, if you see all the microorganisms, they are completely different in their nature. Some of them are useful to us, some of them are harmful to us, isn't it? So their shape, their size, okay, everything varies. So we can also say that the microorganisms also show diversity. They also show the diversity, right? So that means we can see the diversity in the microorganisms also. You can keep the pictures of the bacteria, virus, fungi, microarthropods, algae and whatnot, and compare all the one organism with the other. So you can see lot of differences in those microorganisms. So not even one microorganism is similar to that of the other. Okay, so we can also see some of the microorganisms. Okay, so these microorganisms are completely different from each other. So you can say in one word, you can say that they show the biodiversity. A wide range of microorganisms, a wide range of living organisms live in a particular place, but they vary from each other. They vary from one another. They show different characteristic features from the other organism which is living near to it. So how these organisms are able to show these changes, that is what we are going to learn. Okay, now what we'll try to do is we'll try to find out the variations in the different living organisms. For that, what we will do is we'll take two plants. We'll take two plants and we'll keep them side by side. Now you can see the differences. You can see the differences, right? So first of all, you observe the leaves. Do you think the leaves of these two plants are same? Okay, you can pluck two plants from your garden area which are different, which belong to a different species. Okay, they should belong to different species, and bring them and see the kind of leaf they have. Some will have the broad leaves, some will have the narrow leaves, some leaves will be of spine. Okay, if you take the desert plants, they are covered with the wax, isn't it? So you can see different kind of leaves, isn't it? Leaves are not even similar in all the plants, and you can see the structure of the branches, how the branches comes out. Even that also will be different. The fruits which comes out will be different. The flowers which comes out will be different. The colors of the flowers will be different. Even if you see the root system also, it is different. The nodal length will be different. You can see several different characters in that particular two plants. So when you observe it, you also try to put two plants beside you and start reading all the differences between those two plants as homework. So I want this as homework. Okay, so now if you want to see the variation between the animals, now you take a goat, you take a dog. So now what are the variations between them? Are they different from each other? Except for having the four legs, right, and the body, the shape and all. Apart from that, the shape is different, the size is different, the characters are different, the arrangement of teeth is different, the carnivorous and herbivorous nature is different, what not. Okay, the sounds they make is different. You see their food, right? You see the hair on their body. So each and everything will differ from the other. So not one difference, you can find many differences if you carefully observe them. Okay, in the same way you observe two birds, that even if you observe two birds, okay, even then you can find the difference. Okay, if you observe the hen and a normal crow or a sparrow, there are differences, isn't it? Even though they belong to the same birds family, but still there are a lot of differences. So like this, no two organisms will be similar. In the same way, what we will take is, we will take two human beings. Okay, we'll take two human beings. Now, do you think these two human beings are similar? Are they same? No, they're not same. Their shape is different, their height is different, their color is different. Okay, and their foot size is different, their ear size is different, the nose is different. So even if you take two twins also, there will be differences, and each and every person's fingerprint is also different. Okay, so this is how no two organisms vary. That is why we say that we are living in a world where we can see variety of organisms, a wide variety of organisms we can see around us. So that is why we say this is the biodiversity. This is biodiversity. Even you stand along with your friend and try to observe the differences, isn't it? The height will be different, okay, and your weight will be different. Even if you check your nails also, their shape and size will be different, isn't it? So even their body color will be different, texture will be different. Okay, and somebody will have the oily skin, somebody will have the rough skin. Okay, they will have dry skin, so what not. Okay, some will have very smooth skin. So even you take the your classroom also, they are different. Even you can stand with your brother and you can write 5 differences, how your brother is different from you. So like this, you cannot find organisms which are similar to each other. But you all watch cricket, right? Nowadays IPL is going on, right? And also you might have seen the World Cup. So what you try to do is, you try to collect all the cricketers' photographs, okay, different countries, right? There are different countries which participate in the cricket. So can you see that? Just check all the photographs and all. Do you see they are similar to each other? Their color, the skin color, okay, it is completely different. The nature, the way they are is completely different. So if you observe all these characters and all, like, they are absolutely different from each other. So now what you do is, you take the pictures of the different cricketers and all, like, and then try to observe the differences. So can you find two organisms which are absolutely similar to each other? That means 100% accurate. Even if you take two twins also, it's not a big deal. There will be a difference. There will be a difference, isn't it? So even if you take the hen and goat, so now I can say that hen has legs and goat has legs. But what is the difference in the legs? The foot is different. If you observe the hen's foot, it is completely different, and if you take the foot of the goat, it is also completely different. So the organ is same, but the way it is, the shape of that, it is completely different. Based on all these things and all, like what we have studied now, we can say that a wide variety range of organisms, like, they are around us. We are living among them. We are one of. To understand this biodiversity more better, what we'll do is, we'll take the example of the Ramagundam forest, right? Ramagundam forest, which is in the district called as Peddapalli. So we'll see a small example of that particular area, right, of that particular forest. In Peddapalli district, around 60 to 70 years back, there was a forest, a dense forest in Ramagundam, which was a very, very rich heritage of different kinds of animals which were living at that particular place. Okay, this forest area is now, like, it is extended to the border of the Mancherial, right? You all know where is Mancherial, right? And it was a beautiful place, and it was a kind of a habitat for several organisms, right? For example, deers, tigers, hyenas, and foxes, wild boars, bears, pythons, cobras, owls, hares, monitor lizards, scorpions, germinals. Okay, that is nothing but the desert spiders. So all these are the different organisms which used to live in that particular area. So it was a kind of abode to the different organisms at that particular time. So several organisms used to live here in the dense forest. Now, after what happened, after some days, a thermal plant was it was started in that particular area. Human beings, they started a thermal power plant station in that particular area where they used coal to produce the power. So automatically, when there are industries or when there are some thermal plants and all, the human beings will come there to work. Okay, they have to make the roads, they have to cut down the forests, they have to settle there. Okay, so like this, several things happened, and within no time there were quarries, there were buildings, there were mines and whatnot. So and they started building the roads, right? So within no time, because of all these things, they cleared maximum of the forest area. And after doing all these things, what they saw is, they saw that the animals which are in the forest, the several number of animals which are living here, they started disappearing. Within no time, these all animals started disappearing. So this Mancherial area, which is very near to the Ramagundam, was known as the Tiger Valley. But now if you go there, you cannot find even a single tiger. Because there were number of tigers, we called that area as a Tiger Valley. That is a valley where tigers used to live. But now if you go and check, you cannot find even a single tiger. And there are no signs of the different animals which used to live in that particular place. Fox, deers, germinals, whatnots, all these animals disappeared. Hardly what you can find is some deers and some bears, some pythons and cobras. These are all the animals now you can find here and there. But what about the different animals which used to live there? What about the biodiversity which was there in that particular forest? Because of the human settlements, because of the industries, and because of the thermal power plants and all the biodiversity is completely destroyed. Several animals died, several animals left their place. Now if you go to that forest area, hardly you can see some organisms here and there. That's it. Apart from that, nothing else. Even sometimes you can see some peacocks, some scorpions. That's it. But whereas the very big animals which were living there, they completely disappeared. So the above example, what example which I have read now will clearly tell us that there is a need to conserve our biodiversity. If we don't protect our biodiversity, there are chances that we may lose several number of organisms. We may lose several number of organisms, right? So already we are not able to see several organisms which we are seeing from our childhood. So now, if this continues, you can even think that maximum number of animals which are visible now will definitely vanish, will definitely disappear. So what are the animals? Even we can also say that there are some animals which are limited to that particular area, which only live in that particular area. Even those animals are also becoming extinct. For example, you can see the tigers in the Ramagundam forest. They completely disappeared from that place. There's a board Tiger Valley, but there are no tigers. So once all these animals extinct from the earth, now we are saying that tigers are extinct, dinosaurs are extinct, sparrows are going to become extinct. Okay, vultures are going to become extinct. But one day you'll say all the animals, all the species of the different animals are extinct from the face of earth. No animal or something lives here. That is what we will definitely say one particular day. According to the ecologist whose name is E.O. Wilson, every year 10,000 species, that is 27 species per day, are disappearing every day. They are becoming extinct every day. So like this, we are losing so many organisms, so many living organisms on our earth. So because of this, we need to conserve our biodiversity. biodiversity. If you don't conserve our biodiversity, if you don't protect our biodiversity, only human beings may survive on the earth and all the animals may vanish from the face of earth. Okay, now what are the conservation methods and all, we will definitely see in the later lessons and all. We'll stop this session here, and tomorrow we'll go ahead with the new topic which is called as the endangered species. Until then, see you all. Have a great day. Take care.